Hey everybody. I'm sorry I'm 2 minutes late. I said 8:30. It's 8:32, I think. Anyway, I hope you all are doing very well today. It's good to see you guys out there. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Napa. I know we've been talking to Miss Hicks, who is in Africa, and people just checking in from all over, and I'm really glad that you guys are joining us. Thank you for joining us. It's been a great series. Is there anything that you've learned from this series that you didn't know before? I loved reading the book. So all of this series is based off this book called The Sleep Revolution. If you liked what you heard this week, check this book out. It's about that thick. It's about 370 or 300 and something pages. Yep, 370. About sleep, and it's about the process you go through sleep, how important it is, how to get better sleep. You'll really like it, I think. It's intense, but it's really good. Sleep and the arts and all kinds of aspects of sleep. So today is supposed to be our last day. I have one more thing that I want to share with you, so I'm going to do it tomorrow at around 10 o'clock Pacific time. So that's really important that I learned, and that's about the effects of not sleeping. So, but today we're going to be talking about dreams, and so we talked about food, what to eat, what not to eat. We talked about the perfect temperature for sleeping, which was 65, getting a bedtime routine in place. We talked about not having blue light 30 minutes before bed, and then we also had talked about taking naps yesterday, and all of those things are really important to getting a good night's sleep. But today I want to talk about dreams and why they're important and why we have them and how to understand them. Some of you may be people that don't tend to dream when you sleep. So like my husband is like that. He barely dreams, and if he dreams, it's like really intense and really, he doesn't really remember. He can wake up in the middle of the night and then not remember his dream when he wakes up the next morning. Hey, Sarah. I am a dreamer, so I tend to have a lot of dreams, and they're meaningful to me, and they usually are speaking into my life or showing me something about myself. And so I was really fascinated reading this book because I learned a lot more about how to process your dreams, how to understand them. So I'll start with this. When I was 19, I was engaged to someone else besides Damien. I was engaged to another man. And I had a dream in which I had to teach him how to read. And the next morning I woke up and I went, oh my gosh, I do not want to be this guy's mom or his teacher. And I just knew, like my heart was telling me, you're going to end up being his mom or his teacher if you marry this guy. And so I literally was like, I can't marry you. And I broke it off. We had everything done. And you know what? That dream changed my life. It changed my life, and every day I'm so grateful for that. There's been other dreams that have changed my life too. When I was 15, I had a dream, and my mom was pregnant at the time. We didn't know. I said, Mom, I had a dream, and he's a boy, and his name is going to be Josh. And she said, oh, that's nice, da, 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 da. And then my grandma called the same day I woke up with that dream, and she goes, I had a dream last night, and we had a little boy, and his name was Josh. It wasn't even a name we were talking about, Joshua. So his name is Joshua. We're 15 years apart. So, there's important dreams that you remember and that speak to your life. So dreams are really what's happening when you have a dream is your subconscious is kind of having a chance to process what's inside. So when you're going throughout your day, you're taking in all of this information, and you're using like the frontal lobe and the reasoning areas of your brain to really process that information. You're using your senses to process the information, and you are thinking about it logically, and here's this and here's that. What happens when you go to sleep is that you are not able to receive any more sensory stimuli from your senses. Your frontal lobe is not operating in the same way, not doing that reasoning thing where it's teaching you and saying, hey, this makes sense, this doesn't make sense. So that's why you are having sometimes some really crazy dreams that don't make sense, or things that you've never seen. Sometimes dreams can be based on things that you've seen throughout the day or absorbed. So if you thought about somebody randomly during the day, you might have a dream about them at night. Or if you saw something on TV, you might have a dream about that. But most times, dreams are processing your emotions. And so when you wake up, write your dream down, Okay, so write it down. Don't turn on any lights and get on your phone and all that stuff. Just wake up, write it down, and then come back to it. When you, oh hey, you are there from Africa. You're awake. Hey, I'm Miss Hicks, my 4th grade teacher. So anyway, write it down, and then here's how you process it. You almost have to reverse engineer your dream. So when you start and you look at what emotions am I feeling in this dream? What emotions am I feeling? And that is going to help you clue into, if you're having, for instance, one time I had this dream, and all of these people, like in the dream, all of these people are telling me, you got to go to Africa, you got to go to Africa, you got to go to Africa. And I was trying to pack my bag, and I couldn't find any shoes. I couldn't find my shoes, right? And so I woke up from this dream, and I'm saying to me, what is going on here? And I started tuning into the emotions that I felt. I felt like I was being pressured, and I felt like I wasn't ready. And to me, those shoes represented peace. And so what I was trying to say, what I realized when I woke up was, I can't find any peace about going on this trip. And I didn't go. Another time I had a dream where I literally, in the dream, took off my eyelids. Like, think about it, lids to our eyes. They cover our eyes. I took off my eyelids. And then when I was looking around, all of my friends and the people around me, I started seeing them as different animals. Like, this one's a monkey, and this one's a dada, and they were walking down the street, and I was like, oh my gosh, I was really starting to see things more clearly about who they were or what I was going through, and, taking the lids off my eyes. So you have to tune into the emotion first, and then ask yourself, is this an emotion that I'm experiencing maybe deep down inside? Maybe you're not processing it. Maybe you're not acknowledging it, but it's there. And a lot of times that is going to be the root of that dream. Another dream I had recently that I told you guys about was I had to give a speech, and I was running late, and I'm walking, and I'm like preparing, and I'm in my head, I'm like, I'm going to talk about this, I'm going to talk about this, I'm going to talk about this. And all of a sudden I realized that my watch was running fast, that I was actually right on time. And when I woke up and I went back to that, I realized I'm feeling always like I'm behind, like I should be farther along, I should have a website, I should do this. But actually I think that God was just speaking to me like, you're right where you're supposed to be. It's okay. And when I realized in the dream I was right on time, I just had this peace that came over me. And so that what I took from that dream is like this peace of just going, no, it's okay. You're right on time. You're right where you're supposed to be. Don't worry about it. So anyway, that's the thing about dreams. And the other thing about dreams is pay attention to them. Some amazing things have been invented and ideas have come up in dreams. If you didn't know this, check this out. The periodic table was invented because of a dream, in a dream. The sewing machine was invented. He couldn't figure out how to get that last piece, the needle down, and then he had a dream about it, and in the dream, the needle was the way that it is now today. A Nobel Prize winner had a dream that gave him the idea that he won the Nobel Prize. I can't remember his name. The number one, it used to be the richest African-American lady, her hair tonic came to her in a dream. Google came to him in a dream. So the concept of Google. So pay attention to your dreams. They have amazing things in them. Sarah said, I love this. I've always been fascinated by dreams and their meanings. I've had several God dreams that have stuck with me for years. Yes, me too. It's amazing. It's like your subconscious is talking to you, or sometimes it could be God speaking to you about what's going on in your life and what needs to happen and what inspires you. I mean, I don't know if you guys have dreams that you go back to that you're like foundational for your life. I know I do. I had one while back where it was just this scene of hands like this, and gold was like flowing down, and then as it came to the hands, it like split into two, and then under each fountain was also other hands, and it was going down into two, so it multiplied into 4, and then it multiplied into 8, and then 16, and it just really spoke to me about the thing was, as the information and the gold and the love, as it comes down, it didn't diminish. It stayed the same, even though it was splitting up into different people. And that really speaks to me, because it's like, as you're sharing information, you're sharing love with people, you're sharing whatever you have, it just goes on and multiplies. And so Those are the kind of dreams that stick with you, for me, for life, and that I will always remember that, and that motivates me. So anyway, pay attention to your dreams, write them down, process through the emotions first, and you never know, you might get an amazing creative dream with something brilliant that's going to make you millions of dollars. I hope you do. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. So this was our last tip. However, I do have something I want to share with you tomorrow, so I'm going to go on at 10 o'clock Pacific time and be sharing the effects of what happens when you don't sleep, and that's really important too. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. May your mind be fierce and your heart brave and your spirit strong today, and I love you all. Goodbye.